Hey everybody, it's Joric. Welcome back. I hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. So as I'm putting this up right away, you may be asking, it took 30 years to complete a stretch of road in the Algarve? And the answer to that question is yes, it took 30 years to complete. And the reason I'm making this video is I've made videos about Lisbon getting a new airport and timeline, and who knows if that's going to happen. I've made videos about, specifically in Lisbon, about new metro stops that are going to be opened and when they're going to be opened. And there's a handful that I've made that things were supposed to be opened in 2024, haven't yet, or 2025 so far. The timeline is supposed to be opened already, so I'd be making a video, haven't happened yet. And I wanted to make sure that those of you that are looking to move to Portugal, or those of you that have recently moved to Portugal, construction on infrastructure rarely happens on time and within the time frame that the government says it's going to start and when it's going to be completed. Now, I will say this is not it's going to sound like a negative on Portugal. It's not, because I live in the US, same thing happens here. Things are supposed to be done on time, and rarely are they done on time, and never done within a budget. But because this is a video and a channel directly mostly towards Portugal or people that are going to move there, just want to make sure that you're aware of that. So if you're going to be moving to Lisbon and you're excited that the next 5 or 6 years there's going to be a new airport, good luck on that, because it's not going to happen within 5 or 6 years. And we'll see if it happens based upon everything that's gone on, because for Lisbon and the airport, those are discussions and thoughts that go back to the 70s. Back when I was a little kid, a toddler, there were discussions about a new Lisbon airport. So you can see, been over 50 years and the conversation's still going. So we'll see if it actually manifests. Train lines going from connecting Spain to Portugal. So that way, let's say if you're leaving Lisbon, you might be able to take a direct train to Madrid versus having to do 3 or 4 changes along the way. We'll see. There's talk about that. There's also talk about a high-speed train, as well as one from Sevilla to, forget if it's Lisbon or somewhere. Maybe it's, I'm not sure. Could have been maybe Faro. We'll see if that actually materializes. But in this case, when you look at something like this and you're going 30 years, what in the world? They've got fairly decent weather in the Algarve. They could be working all year long. There's a lot of things that go into that. Politics goes into it. Investment. So you got to have some capital to be able to do that. Labor. You need labor. And it seems like there's both Portuguese labor as well as immigrant labor that helps with a lot of these infrastructure projects. And when you're walking through, I'll say specifically for many of you, whether you're traveling or considering a move to Portugal, if you walk through different streets, residential areas of Lisbon and Porto, you'll see a lot of construction going on, renovating older buildings. And then you'll also see old buildings just sitting there in different, I guess, states of decay. And you'll wonder, God, why don't we renovate this, or why isn't there more investment? And the long and the short of it is it takes time in Portugal. I think if there's something that you can use as a tagline when you're doing immigration or you're living there, it takes time. And that's not good or bad. It's just part of it is the government process, the permitting, and to be able to do big capital projects like roadways, railways, airport or airports. And then even down to the small level when you're looking to move, and maybe you're going to buy a farm, or you're going to renovate a home or an apartment. Now, renovating an apartment is a little easier because all of it is contained within the building. And from those of us that have done renovation, much easier. I have a friend that is in the current state of renovating a property outside of Lisbon, about an hour outside, and it's a farm, and they're looking to move it from a farm into kind of creating more of an Airbnb or a I'll call it a ranch style experience or a farm experience for people that want to go to Portugal and kind of live a country existence for their time that they're going to be traveling. But it is something to just think about. It just takes time in Portugal to get things done. And that's okay. And that's how it is. That's how the Portuguese do it. And that's not something, at the end of this video, I want to make sure that often we come in with our preconceived notions on how we would do things, or how our country might do something, or how your country, how they operate. Might be worse, might be better, depending on the situation. But if you keep in mind that it just takes time. You won't get as frustrated in the immigration process. You won't get as frustrated when you're trying to renovate and they have labor and then they don't have labor for 6 weeks, and then they have labor for 6 weeks and then they don't, to work on your property. If you get into that mindset, it will be helpful. So, and you just realize, and the whole point of the video is really putting up the 30 years to complete a stretch of road in the Algarve is a microcosm of it just takes time, and that's not a bad thing. It's a Portuguese thing. And so if you can embrace that and really hold on to, okay, take a break, don't get upset because immigration isn't going as fast as I want it, then your life and your journey in Portugal, whether that be for a short period or a long period, will be more beneficial and less stress to you, and you'll actually have hair on your head. If you want it to go all fast and very quickly, and maybe you're used to a certain cadence or a certain routine or a certain speed, it's just not the case. It doesn't matter what it is. So just get used to it takes time, and if you are okay with that, then Portugal is really going to be even better than what you think it's going to be. If you're someone that may not be able to get into that routine of just, it's going to take time, you may want to, consider maybe going someplace else. And I speak from that, from people that have lived in Portugal, could not get used to the lifestyle, and it just frustrated them. First immigration thing that went sideways, that was the start of hundreds of things. And then they ended up not going and moving or going someplace else. So keep this in mind. It takes time to get roads done, to get an airport built, to get a train line built. And there's a lot of talk about what gets done or what might happen. But when the rubber meets the road, there's not a lot that actually happens past the rhetoric and the talk, and makes for a good headline in a newspaper. But again, it takes time, and just relax and enjoy it. It'll make your experience in Portugal a little bit better. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and enjoy your travels.